Okay, so there's this card, Nexus of Fate. It's an M19, but you can't open it in packs because it's the Buy a Box promo. But it's still going to be legal in Standard, and it is causing quite the uproar. In the prep meeting for this episode, the dude that does all the graphics for these videos asked me, why is this card good? And that is a fair question, because it does not look very good on its face. 7 mana is a lot of mana. Most cards that take an extra turn cost 5 or 6 at the most. The important part of Nexus of Fate, though, is that it's an instant. The difference between being forced to cast it on your own turn and being able to cast it on your opponent's end step is ginormous. Imagine, if you will, you're playing a deck with a bunch of counterspells, removal, and Teferis. That deck shouldn't be too hard to imagine because it already exists and it's very good. Now imagine that you've got access to Nexus of Fate. Now you never have to do anything on your own turn other than keep playing land. You get to answer your opponent's spells on their own turn, and on a turn where they don't have anything threatening you, you can cast Nexus of Fate on their end step. If they can't deal with it, great! You have an extra turn. If they do deal with it with a negate or some other counter magic, that's great too, because that's one less card they've got in their hand and less mana they have access to on your turn, which means the coast is clear to cast your Teferi and start generating an advantage that way. It's win-win, which means that it's lose-lose for your opponents. Now that deck's not unbeatable, far from it. Duress, Negate, Doomfall, these are all cards that exist and they're going to give any potential Nexus of Fate deck a headache. The real question here is it wise to put so much potential power in a Buy a Box promo? Nexus of Fate is only the second Buy a Box promo of its kind. The other Buy a Box promo like this is Firesong and Sunspeaker from Dominaria, and speaking from a strictly competitive standpoint, Firesong and Sunspeaker is a pretty bad card. It has cool implications in Commander and especially Brawl, but it will, quite simply, never make an impact on Standard the entire time it's legal. As a general rule, a 4/6 for 6 does not get the job done. Obviously, Consecrated Sphinx is the exception to the rule, but I digress. So Firesong and Sunspeaker. It's a Buy a Box promo, it's not found in Dominaria boosters, and it's not playable in Standard, but it's really appealing in casual singleton formats. And as of writing this, the TCGplayer market price on it's a little more than $5, so not too shabby. Which brings us back to old Nexus of Fate. This card is very playable in Standard. Most players' concern is that since Nexus of Fate is only available to players that buy a box of M19, it's going to end up being prohibitively expensive, assuming you even have a local store to pre-order from. This is the worst case scenario, and from a player perspective, that outcome would be pretty bad. But for stores, it's great! The shops that host your tournaments and provide a spot for you to game can incentivize regulars to buy sealed product. The hype on Nexus of Fate is going to help stores, and that's a good thing. But how much is it going to end up costing? The answer? I don't know! There's no way of knowing! The only precedent we have for a card like this is Firesong and Sunspeaker, which, started out around $9 and has experienced a steady, slow decline in market price since the day it was printed, thanks in large part to a lack of demand, because nobody playing Standard needs a copy of Firesong and Sunspeaker. Predicting demand for Nexus of Fate is a lot tougher. Firesong and Sunspeaker excels in singleton formats, and even in that context, its applications are pretty limited, so demand for it stays pretty low. Nexus of Fate has a much wider range of possibilities. It could be a dud, it could warp Standard, it could even get banned. Predicting what will happen in Nexus of Fate's price tag requires that you make a judgment call on how good a card it is. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say that it is fine. It's fine. It's not amazing, it's not gonna warp Standard. People will definitely want it for their Commander and Brawl decks. But like I said earlier, Duress is a card. Negate is a card. Doomfall is a card. Unwind is a card. Any 7 mana card, even instant speed ones, are still tough to maneuver, and as powerful as Nexus of Fate is, the fact that you need to protect it from all these cheap cards plus combine it with Planeswalkers or something else to get any sort of value out of it makes it too tough to really make a dent. But what do you think about Nexus of Fate? Let us know in the comments, and please like and subscribe or my wife will leave me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.